Hi, my name is Chris Jackson. I have been practicing business law for over 25 years, and today we are going to discuss limited liability companies. I'm going to quickly go through the advantages and disadvantages, and then I'm going to show you how to set one up. And I really shouldn't do that as an attorney. I usually charge my clients for this, but in reality, the setting up of a limited liability company is something you can do on your own. An attorney's real value is what to do after the limited liability company is set up and formed in your state, and that is something that I'm going to cover in another video. But in this video, I'm just going to give you the bullet points on why you might want to have a limited liability company and then how to set it up on your own. And I'm going to show you how to do it in this video step by step. First question is, why have a limited liability company rather than, say, an S corporation or a C corporation, or just operate as a sole proprietorship? I went into detail about this very topic in a prior video. Feel free to watch that and learn what are the advantages and disadvantages of each entity type. I'm going to simply say that for 90% of the people out there, a limited liability company probably makes the most sense. Okay, so before we set up the limited liability company, you should understand why you may want to choose a limited liability company for your business. There are three advantages, generally speaking, of a limited liability company. Number one, a limited liability company, as the name suggests, limits your liability. How does it do that? It limits your liability in the event of a lawsuit against your company to the amount you've invested into the company itself. You are not exposing any of your personal assets, your home, your vehicles, cash in the bank account, your investments, other assets you might have. They can take your children, or if you so choose, but that's optional. That is a joke. The children, they cannot take them even if you want them to. I have two children of my own, and I would not sell them for $1 billion. I just want to make that clear in case either of them are watching this video or my wife watches this video, in which case I'll be in a lot of trouble. Now, a limited liability company will protect your personal assets from liability should the company get sued. And in theory, a corporation will do the exact same thing, but the main difference is that in a limited liability company, you don't have to go through the same level of formalities as you would in a corporation in order to ensure that liability protection, and we're going to talk about that next. And that brings me to number two, which is the second advantage of a limited liability company. And as I just said, in most cases, depending upon your state, you do not have to go through formalities in order to ensure liability protection. For example, a corporation, whether it's an S corporation or a C corporation, has to have board meetings. They have to have shareholder meetings. They have to keep minutes during those meetings, and they have to be able to demonstrate they both had the meetings, they kept the minutes in order to protect themselves from liability should they get sued. I don't like that for most of my clients. A lot of my clients don't want to do that. I don't blame them. They shouldn't have to do that. The whole idea behind liability protection is let's make it as easy as possible. And that is the reason I like a limited liability company. So the third advantage of a limited liability company as compared to a C corporation is that there's no entity level tax. A C corporation, you have to pay a corporate tax, and then you pay tax when you receive dividends. So essentially a C corporation subjects the entity and you combined to double taxation. That is not the case with a limited liability company or an S corporation. Tax obligation on the profits of a limited liability company pass through to the owners of the limited liability company, which are called members. So those are the three advantages of a limited liability company. There is one disadvantage, and that is similarly to a sole proprietorship, a limited liability company has to pay a self-employment tax in most cases. There is one way to get around that, and that is you can take this limited liability company, and after you form it, you can file a Form 2553 with the IRS, and we're going to go over this momentarily when I show you how to set up the limited liability company. And in doing so, you can elect to have your limited liability company taxed as an S corporation. It is the best of all worlds. You are protecting yourself from liability without having to go through the formalities that an S corporation would. You have pass-through taxation just like an S corporation. and you do not have to pay the self-employment tax. So let's get right to it. I would like to now jump into a screen share where I'm going to demonstrate step by step how to form a limited liability company in your state. I'm using Incfile, a corporate service company, to set up this limited liability company. I'm going to put the link to Incfile in the description under my video, and you should know it's an affiliate link. You don't have to pay anything extra by clicking on that link. You can get to Incfile however you choose. It will help support my YouTube channel, and it is much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, if you followed the link under my video in the description, you would have arrived here at the Incfile website, and I am going to show you how to form a limited liability company step by step. And I'm not going to gloss over anything. I'm going to be as quick as I possibly can, but thorough, because I want to make sure that you understand why you are making the decisions that you're making as you're going through this process. And I would like to say that this number up here is available to call. I have used it myself. I got a quick answer to a question about their process. That is available if there's something that I did not thoroughly explain in this video, which hopefully won't apply. Let's go to Start My Business. Entity type, we're an LLC. State of formation, I'm choosing California. Okay, so you have three options: the silver package, the gold package, and the platinum package. The gold package is what I recommend for the reasons we are about to discuss. The silver package is only the filing fee in the state of California, which is $5. There are no fees to Incfile here. And they do perform the service of filing the articles for you, which is required in order to establish the LLC, allow you to search for business names, which is really not an add-on value because you can do that yourself via the Secretary of State's website. Registered agent service, what that is each entity in a state in which they do business has to have a registered agent. A registered agent is basically the person the public knows can receive service of process, which is a lawsuit. You can be your own registered agent. I don't recommend it for most people because it will set you up to receive a lot of unwanted offers and spam. If you want to keep yourself private, then I would hire a third-party registered agent service. Now let's look at the gold package and the platinum package. The platinum package gives you everything in the gold package, which we are going to go over, plus these three items here: business contract templates, free next day filing, domain name, and business email. Business contract templates are very rarely useful in my view as an attorney, and not just saying that because I'm an attorney, but essentially it's hard to take a template and fit it into your particular transaction. If you have a contract that you need to draft, I recommend you have an attorney do it. Free next day filing. You're going to see later in the process that you can choose this as an add-on feature without having to pay an extra $100. It's only $50 in the state of California. Domain name and business email, you can get this through GoDaddy or otherwise. I don't know that it's an added value. Okay, so why would I recommend the gold package over the other two? And the answer is, as I said, I don't think this is an added value, except for maybe this, but you can get that for cheaper. What the gold package gives you over the silver package is Incfile will file and obtain for you the EIN business tax number. It's the tax ID of your LLC. EIN stands for Employer Identification Number. You need this to open a bank account, process payroll, file your tax returns, etc. It has become cumbersome, especially in recent years, to deal with the IRS to obtain this number. Much rather have a third party do it. Okay, IRS Form 2553, that is the form which you need to file with the IRS for the LLC to be taxed as an S corporation. That is a form that Incfile will file for you after your entity has been confirmed as set up. The operating agreement is the governing document in the limited liability company. It is much like the bylaws in a corporation. The operating agreement has to contain certain items. They will give you an operating agreement template where you can fill in the blanks. I'm going to go over that in another video to make sure that the operating agreement covers everything it needs to cover for the standard limited liability company. The banking resolution, in order to open a bank account, You need a resolution from the members of the LLC that allow you to open a bank account in the name of the limited liability company. Lifetime company alerts. Incfile is going to alert you and remind you that you have to file certain forms in your state. Every state is different, but there are certain forms that you have to file annually, sometimes every other year, and Incfile is going to let you know what forms need to be filed and when, so you do not become delinquent. Online access dashboard. You're going to access this dashboard after your entity is established, and within the dashboard, that's when you're going to apply for your Form 2553, or you're going to give them the information that allows them to do that for you. The other items are business banking account. They give you an option to set up an account directly with Bank of America as part of this process. Business tax consultation. If you have tax questions, then by all means, take advantage of that. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to get the gold package. Okay, so now we have arrived at the contact information page. Input your own contact information and note that this is for Incfile internal purposes only. Okay, so here's where we determine what our filing time should be. As you can see in California, it's going to take 4 weeks to file your articles of organization to establish your entity, and that's at no extra charge. That's what I am interested in if I'm in no hurry. If you are in a hurry, you can, as I said before, you can pay $50 extra and get it filed within 8 business days. I'm choosing 4 weeks. Okay, so now we are going to input our company information. Before we do, I noticed that they added $29 over here, and I will go down and show you what that includes. They're giving you the option of creating a virtual office. This will be an office outside your home that can receive mail. They are going to charge you $29 a month. If you have a home office and you don't want to use the home office address, maybe this is a good idea for you. If you do choose this, you can cancel at any time. Okay, so we return to the company information section, LLC name. I'm choosing Chris Jackson Mobile Dog Grooming. I used that as an example in a prior video, so I'm going to stay consistent with that theme. The designator is, I'm choosing LLC. You have to have a designator after the name, otherwise you will be presumed to be a sole proprietorship. You want to let the public know that you are a limited liability company rather than a corporation or a sole proprietorship. You should note that if this company name is not available, Incfile will let you know, and you have to be prepared to give them some alternate names. I recommend having 3 in order of preference. Select the number of members. I am choosing 1. I'm going to be a single member LLC. Members are owners. They are the equivalent of shareholders in corporations. For business purpose, mobile dog grooming business. Okay, here they are going to help you determine what is your SAIC code. And that is an industry code, and it's useful if you are bidding on a government contract, certain types of financing that might be available to you in your industry, and also, as it states here, can help you in identifying certain tax benefits that may be available to you in your industry. I have no idea what my code is, but I know I'm in the grooming industry. Okay, so I have 3 options to choose from here. They all have the same code. I think pet grooming services applies most accurately to me. Okay, so now we come down to management method. You have 2 options. You could be a member managed limited liability company or a manager managed limited liability company. Either option is fine. I choose manager managed limited liability companies for most of my clients and for my own company because I like to have the title manager. It is like the CEO of a corporation. It makes it much more convenient when you have to, say, open a bank account or sign documents, and you can just put your name and your title. And certainly if you have more than 1 member, you may have to have all members sign those documents. So I'm going to choose. The LLC will be managed by 1 manager. Okay, as discussed before, you have the option of choosing their virtual office address or your own address. I'm going to go ahead and choose this. Okay, so we've come to the next page. It is giving you the option of adding on the services that you declined before. You will see that this is essentially the platinum package. If you really want these items, then you should just go back start over and select the Platinum package, because right now they're offering to upgrade for $149, whereas before it was $304, which is $100 more than this for this package. Alternatively, if you wanted just the expedited filing service for an extra $50, you can select that option. You had the opportunity to do that on a prior page. I'm saying no thanks. Member information. I am a single member. There are no other members. I'm going to go ahead and use the assigned company address provided by Incfile as the address of my member. I do not want people to know my actual address. And note, by the way, that if you are going to choose S corporation status, there's only one type of company that can be a member of an LLC that is taxed as an S corporation, and that is a single member LLC. Otherwise, you have to be an individual. You can see here that it says ownership interest is 100%. That is because I am a single member LLC. If I had more than one member, then I would allocate right here a percentage to each member. Click next. Okay, registered agent information. You already get a free registered agent service for a year. It's $119 per year, guaranteed for life if you continue with Incfile as your registered agent. I like that. I'm going to click next. Okay, we have arrived at the page where you give Incfile the information they need to file the form and obtain your employer identification number, the LLC tax ID. No, I am not a foreign individual. Put in my social. Regarding physical street address, here I would choose your own home address so that the IRS recognizes you. Click next. Okay, here's where you have the option to have Incfile help you establish a business bank account through Bank of America. I have three options. I'll apply online when my business formation documents are ready. You cannot open the bank account, by the way, until you're formed in your state. I can ask that a Bank of America small business specialist call me. I'm choosing no, not at this time. Tax strategy, free consultation. Yeah, why not? Okay, so now we are at the business licenses and permits page. You can ask Incfile to identify what licenses or permits you may need. You may not need any, you may need some. It depends upon your mostly county and city, and you can check with them yourself, which is why I chose no thanks. Okay, we have arrived at the confirmation of details review order page. Everything looks good. And now we're going to input our payment information, and then once we complete and pay, they will start the process of forming your limited liability company in your state. They will notify you when it is formed, at which time you're going to have a link so that you can go in, give them the information to file Form 2553 on your behalf so that you can elect, if you so choose, to be taxed as an S corporation. So now that you set up your LLC, I'm going to cover in my next video what to do next, what steps to take to get your business in position for success. And I wish you all the best, and I wish your business success. And thank you for watching my video, and have a great day.